one of the things that you mentioned earlier was your diabetes training, which I think is a really great example of quantifiable care that you're providing outside of medication. So tell me a little bit about My Sweet Life.
So the My Sweet Life is the name we gave it because we had to give it a name. But it's basically, we are recognized under Diabetes Smart, and that's an organization within the Community and Clinical Connection for North Carolina. And so because of that recognition, they're the ones that monitor, or like at least we have to meet their quality assurance. So, and we went through the process just because in most pharmacies, the pharmacist can be pulled aside to give some type of diabetes care, whether it's to explain the medication or just simple question, explain labs. Sometimes they bring in their lab work. Most pharmacies or pharmacists will do that. But we went through the process because we wanted to make sure that what we provided was what we provide is up to par with what the organizations would want, or at least to be recognized. That's why we went through the process. The challenge with it, though, is just the reimbursement and the billing as providers and as pharmacy billing for that. So we did a lot of free education just to get the recognition. We still don't know how to navigate the billing as providers for that. But what we're doing now is just because we also do A1C tests, we believe that if these people are engaged enough to understand their numbers, understand what these numbers mean and what the whole process of managing diabetes mean, then they'll be able to take care of their own diabetes. So this all started this year. We're looking, one of the journalists here in the city, did a big article on us and basically just saying everything that we've been doing, like, wow, we didn't know this existed here. And it looked like a whole lot of people read that and saw that. And we had a lot of outpour of support, and it was almost overwhelming, but, I appreciated that. It's something we've been doing. People were very appreciative of what we're doing. So a lot of them actually started donating. They're like, we want to help you we want to reach more. We want you to reach more people. We want to help you. But because of all that donation, we're like, we can't just take this money. The pharmacy is not a nonprofit. So we have a nonprofit now, Kirby's Care Foundation. So the foundation will help people that actually are engaged with their health and needing to learn more to be able to take care of themselves without worrying about immigration status or worrying about financial or economic issues if they take that step forward.
That's pretty cool. So, that's again a reoccurring thing with every awesome independent pharmacy I talk to is people just don't really have the full story out there. When people think pharmacy, you think I have to go to the big box. I think there's just nationwide kind of an under awareness of what independent pharmacy can do for just the average person, And then on top of that, one of the really, really neat things that you can do is just contact your local news, get your name out there. That's something that you can do super easy. And, news outlets are just like any other business. They're looking for content. And so if you bring them great content, it makes their job like a little easier. They're happy to tell a good story about a great business who's helping the community. And people are willing to give. A lot of people are looking for ways to help. So it seems like you've kind of tapped into those things by, building those relationships with your community, with your news organizations, and being able to act on those. So where do you see that growing? How do you see that serving your community in the future?
Well, it's funny you said that because you're not the only one that said that to us, and I'm always like, I don't want to make that cut. I don't want to make that effort, and then they call me. I'm like, no, but I don't know. Somehow it just happened. I guess the guy that came through also when he came, another lady. After that, a lady came and said, I was so happy to read that and see that because honestly, after my experience, I went and called my buddy and he said, look, you're the 10th person that's called me about this place. I have to go there. I'm like, wow. Really? Right. I was like, okay. But where do we think, or where are we going to take this to? Honestly, there's no limit. We're going to go as far as it can take us. And I think the biggest thing is just being open to learning the process and the new things that we're being introduced to. Because I can tell you, when the doors first opened and when the decision was like, okay, we're going to do this, I had no idea which foot was supposed to move first or go next. And even now, we're still learning. And my whole goal is just as we're learning, I want the whole team to be learning together. And as long as we're moving forward and we're making more impact and we're getting the word out there and people are being more aware and more appreciative of what we're bringing to the table, I think we're doing and then we're paying bills. Then I know we're doing a good job. We can't forget the bill.
Yeah. That's the unfortunate, reality. It's really easy to be idealistic, and sometimes the practicality of it will come back kind of hard.
And I think it's so much easier too if other members of the healthcare system does see that, because I think they're so, like you said, people underestimate what independent pharmacies do. In the same token, I also believe that providers don't fully understand like our skills and the capabilities that we have. So if that can be seen, it'll be so much easier, because I can tell you it will translate back to the patient, and the patient will be more open-minded to have a pharmacist help them do certain things, rather than, I know like when I was with the big box chain, with those approaches, some patients were like, oh no, I'll just have my doctor take care of it. Oh no, I don't. I'll tell my doctor instead. But we're all, they're all guarded by the same thing that protect them from their doctor's office, at their doctor's office, like the HIPAA laws. Those information, knowing it, we can put it out there. All of this is just for their own benefit. So once that starts changing, pharmacy will be getting better. Yes. Yeah. Now it's great, but it definitely can get better, and the opportunities, there's so much we can do with pharmacy. It's like a stage, so we can bring in the game.
Yeah, that was one of the quotes. I love that you mentioned that. I think I messaged you on LinkedIn, because when I listened to the other podcast that I'd mentioned, you said that pharmacy is like a stage, and you can really bring your strengths, your performances. It's your place to shine and bring something good to the people around you. And I thought that was a really cool way of looking at it. Thanks for listening to this clip from Beyond the Scripts, presented by the Catalyst Pharmacy Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please support our channel by liking, subscribing, and clicking the notification bell so that you'll be notified anytime we post new content. To stay up to date with all of the latest independent pharmacy news and content, follow PioneerRx on your preferred social media platform.